Hello friends, it's Reverend Susan, and today we are celebrating the feast of St. Francis. Now St. Francis, really known as St. Francis of Assisi, Assisi is a town in Italy where St. Francis lived hundreds of years ago. But still today, we celebrate and remember St. Francis because he was one of God's very best helpers, and that's really what a saint is. One of God's very best helpers. You probably know some other saints. You might think of St. George, if you've ever heard the story of St. George, who slayed the dragon. Or how about this beautiful woman? This is St. Teresa of Calcutta. She helped all the sick and the poor in India. She have a beautiful face. This is St. Christopher. St. Christopher carrying the baby Jesus, carrying Christ. St. Joan of Arc. St. Joan of Arc, who went off into battle to fight for Christ. How about this guy? St. Nicholas. We sometimes call St. Nicholas Santa Claus, don't we? St. Nicholas, who brought toys to the children. We know though that Christmas is not really about toys. Christmas is the day that baby Jesus is born and comes among us, God with us. So St. Francis of Assisi. You might notice that I'm not in the chapel or in the church or even in the Godly Playroom. I'm here in a garden. I'm here in the St. Luke's garden. Have you ever found this place? This is the first time I found it. If you're on the playground and you look over the gate, look over the fence to the playground, you'll spy it. We've got tomatoes and lettuce, got all sorts of things. It looks like kale and broccoli growing here, pumpkins. This is St. Luke's little garden. And I'm in the garden because St. Francis loved gardens. He loved all things about nature. He loved plants. He loved flowers, he loved trees, he loved the sun and the moon. He especially loved animals. So you might bring your animal to be blessed on the feast of St. Francis. There are many, many wonderful stories about St. Francis. They say that St. Francis could talk to the birds, that he would speak and the birds would all gather around Francis and listen. They say that when St. Francis went out in his boat, he didn't need a fishing pole to catch fish. The fish would just all gather around his boat and jump right into his boat to hear what Francis had to say. Because Francis always had good things to say. There's a story about a wolf who was terrorizing a town. That means that wolf was making the whole town scared. I think I'd be scared if a wolf came into our town. But Francis, he wasn't scared. He went and he talked to the wolf. And the wolf said, I'm terrorizing the town. I'm making people scared because I'm hungry. And St. Francis said, well, let's make a deal. If you don't scare us, we'll feed you. And so they made a deal with that town. And all the townspeople fed the wolf. And the wolf became their best friend. The wolf protected them, and they fed the wolf, and they became great, great, great friends. And that's what St. Francis did. He helped us spread God's love. He helped us be friends. He helped us take care of the earth and take care of one another. And one time, when St. Francis wasn't feeling too well, kind of sad and wasn't sure what he was supposed to do, he went into a church and he asked God, and he heard God say, Francis, fix my church. My church needs repairs. And so Francis did. And so here I'm in this garden. And guess what? This garden needs a little bit of repair. And guess what else? We're gonna do it. We're gonna fix this garden. You can help. Your moms and dads can help. We're going to fix this garden to make it the best garden we can for Francis, for God, for each other. So this Feast of St. Francis, try and fix something. Maybe you have a toy that's a little broken that could need fixing. Maybe you have a relationship that's a little broken that needs fixing. Maybe you need to say you're sorry. Or maybe you need to ask forgiveness. Or maybe you need to say, will you be my friend? St. Francis lived a very long time ago, but still today we remember him and we celebrate him because he did so very much, and he loved God so very much. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Happy Feast of St. Francis. Go in peace.